Hello everybody and welcome back for some weekly VR news. As always, I am Metamorphosis VR and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today we have a handful of new releases, some surprise game announcements, and even more Quest3s leaks. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by my sponsor, Kiwi Design. Kiwi has accessories for all of your favorite headsets, and they finally started releasing some new products for the Quest 3. On screen we have their brand new extra comfy Quest 3 Elite strap. I've been using head straps from Kiwi for years now, and they're hands down my favorite. There's a link to Kiwi down in the description, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support my channel. Okay, so let's start things off like normal with the check-in, and that's what exactly have I been up to in the VR world. Well, I'm currently working on a brand new unannounced VR headset review, and I think this may be my new PSVR headset of choice. It's early, maybe a little too early to tell, but I will have that video in the near future. Very excited to show that off. And additionally, I am leaving for another super secret adventure this week, VR related. Again, another thing that I can't wait to show off for you guys. So just stay tuned for that. And then I'm going directly from this one location to Meta Connect. So I'm gonna have plenty of new information to tell you guys about in the very near future. But let's not waste any time and get into this week's new releases. So two titles actually snuck in last week that I missed, and the first is yet another DLC for Walkabout Mini Golf. This time we're headed to Mars, and we get to golf our way through a stunning biodome. Even cooler, we now have gravity options, which will dramatically impact how you play through this course. But for the non-mini golf fans, Crimen Mercenary Tales has made its way onto the PlayStation VR 2. This is an action-adventure title that has you taking on the role of different characters from the 17th century, and despite the comic book style graphics, this is actually a mature themed game. It's basically a hack and slash with colorful humor that may miss the mark for some people. Now I personally enjoyed it when it originally released on PSVR and Quest, and now PlayStation VR 2 owners can enjoy this game with an array of graphical enhancements such as 4K textures. The Quest 3 version of this game was also just recently enhanced, so if you've ever wanted to check out this game, now's a good time. But moving forward into this week's new releases, first up is Dance Dance Dance. This newest entry into the rhythm genre will have you popping bubbles in a manner that forces you to emulate certain dance movements. There's also a battle mode for those of you looking for more of a challenge. There'll be up to 5 instructors actively switching bubble patterns on you, and also throwing additional obstacles in your way. Now the main question for me is, how does this compete against existing titles like Beat Saber and Synth Riders? And also, how good is the overall song list? Because that can make or break the title. So I guess we'll just wait and see what happens. Now next up we have a mixed reality sword fighting title, Guardian of Realms. This is from Sin Studio, the developers who gave us Swordsman VR. So my first impression of this was, oh cool, they took Swordsman VR and brought it into mixed reality. That'll be pretty fun. But I actually ran into Reese the King at Gamescom. We were talking about this title and he said, no, it's much more than that. Try it out, let me know what you think. So I'm actually really excited now. I will let you guys know more about this game in Friday's first impressions video. And on that note, if you guys want any other titles covered, please let me know which ones. You did give me a list during my recent live stream, and I think I have some great games to go over this week. However, if there's ever anything else you want covered, just drop it down in the description and say, hey, please cover XYZ, and I'll do my best to get to it. But let's keep going through the new releases. I pretty much saved the best for last, and that's the absolutely fantastic horror-themed survival title Into the Radius, making its way onto the PlayStation VR 2. This game basically has it all: a 20+ hour campaign, deeply immersive storytelling, advanced mechanics that show off what VR is all about, tons of weapons and equipment to find, plus a really creepy atmosphere that'll keep you on your toes. So I'm extremely excited that PlayStation VR 2 owners will finally get to play this one, and I am planning to show off the PlayStation version of this game in a future video. But for now, let's move into some new game announcements, starting with Human Fall Flat VR. Now, while we only just got a teaser announcement and haven't seen any actual gameplay, Human Fall Flat was one of those quirky multiplayer titles that took the internet by storm. Now, I definitely enjoy the quirky, fun nature of this title, but what really has me intrigued for the VR version is the fact that this game centers around physics, and physics is something that VR does better than anyone else. So I'm extremely curious about this one, can't wait to try it out, and I would love to hear what you guys are thinking about this game down in the comments. And finally, we got a reveal trailer from Metamorphosis VR. This was a flat screen title that originally released back in 2020, and you take on the role of a person who's been transformed into a bug. It was an adventure title that was all about immersion and seeing the world from a different perspective, something that should work really well in VR. Now, I actually knew about this title a very long time ago. I spoke to someone who was working on it, and when they proposed that this is one of the games that they were changing from flat to VR. I was like, that sounds extremely interesting. I want to see how this comes out. It was a very well-received title, and I think it could do quite well in VR. So yeah, another game I'm excited to jump into and explore. We just gotta hope the port was done well and we don't get another Hitman 3 on our hands. Now moving into hardware news, we have a combination of confirmed information and some additional leaks. Now we're gonna start off with mixed reality glasses that Andrew Bosworth confirmed Meta is currently working on. The main takeaway here is that this new mixed reality device would be in an eyeglasses form factor. Now, besides the confirmation that this is being worked on, everything else starts to slide into leaks and rumor territory. We're looking at a supposed 2027 release date, and even the possibility that the processing will be moved to an external puck-like device. Now, that is all in line with Meta's long-term goal of making a device that can replace your smartphone or at least work in tandem with it. These all-day wearables that have a ton of functionality. I'm really excited for that. I'm expecting we will see something new announced at Meta Connect this year, some type of AR glasses, but we'll just wait and see. Now, continuing on into leak territory, yeah, we got some new photos of the Meta Quest 3s, which is basically the industry's open secret at this point. The images are right in line with everything else we've seen previously, and I'm basically convinced that everything we've previously heard about this headset will be true. Just to recap the current leak/rumor status of the Meta Quest 3s, this is basically going to be a cheaper version of the Meta Quest 3. It'll let people get into the Quest 3 ecosystem for a cheaper price, somewhere between $300 and $400, and ultimately replace the Quest 2, which is being phased out, can't run the newest games. Now, how they're making the device cheaper is they're not including the pancake lens. They're going to use the old school Fresnel lens, a little bit cheaper LCD panel, so a little bit lower resolution LCD panel, and then basically everything else is the same. The Qualcomm XR2 Gen 2 chip. Obviously, the headset form factor will be a little bit different because it has to accommodate the larger lens, but that's it. So it's kind of between a Quest 2 and a Quest 3, or a Quest 2 with the internals of a Quest 3, and everyone gets the headset cheaper. Now, this is a good move. It does help people move on from the Quest 2, get into the ecosystem for cheaper. I know people are looking for more, they want a little bit of a better headset. The Quest 3 is still on the lower spec side, but that's not what sells. That's not what pushes the industry forward. So I understand what they're doing here. I think those rumors and leaks are going to be 100% accurate. And I'm also pretty sure that the vast majority of accessories that work right now on the Quest 3 are also going to work on your Quest 3s. Maybe not facial inserts. Those will probably be different because the lens shape is different. But I think the Elite strap and everything else will work. Now, that doesn't matter. If you have a Quest 3, I don't think you're going to go and pick up a Quest 3s. But it does help the overall industry, people who make third-party products. It helps Meta. They don't have to redesign a new head strap for these, headsets. And that's where I think we're at. But there's no sense in sitting here and debating the rumors. Yes, we have the pictures. Yes, we know what it looks like. But besides that, we're going to get all the information in 2 weeks at Meta Connect, which I will be covering on site, guys. All right, that was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to make one comment about my voice. My voice has still been out, guys. I have a chronic cough induced by some virus I got at some point in time. I'm doing my best. These videos have been hard to produce. If the voice, has been bothering you and stuff, please let me know in the comments. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but it's really hard for me to kind of just get words out recently. And I have to pause because I'm coughing and hacking. And who cares? You guys don't want to hear about me crying. Thumbs up this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time. Thanks for being here.